Hey guys, it's Mike coming back with a PC update. I've also got a package from Santa Brad or um, SGC return, and I'll also be showing a lot of pickups I've had over the last month or so, maybe 2 months. It's been a while since I've done a video. Just busy with work and such. But first, want to thank Brad for this. Brad, it seems like I don't know how many years you've been doing this, hitting people up, but it's just amazing, and I can't tell you how thankful I am to get it. I've already opened it, and it's sitting here. We'll take a look and see what he gave me. Trying to save some time. And that is a George Foster. That is an early Fleer there, looks like. No, Topps or Finest Moments. Topps Finest. Wow. I don't know if I've ever even seen this card before. I've got a few Big Red Machine autographs. And, that is very cool. Topps Finest. Very nice. A great hitter. Kind of underrated back in the 70s. He was really good. As MVP in 1977, maybe? I'm not for sure how the second one goes. Oh, Johnny. There's old Johnny. I didn't know if you'd send me Fran or Johnny. You always do one or the other. Let's see what we got here. Oh, nice. Very nice. Look at that. That is museum collection, I think last year, 2023. And it is 2023, and it is a beauty. Nice autograph. Johnny's gotten a little sloppier in his old age. I think he just turned 77. And that is numbered out of probably 91 of 99. Brad, thank you so much, buddy. You've actually got a package coming to you from me. I've already mailed it, so hopefully you'll get it before Christmas comes. But can't thank you enough for these two beauties. And they will be very nice additions to the collection. So, Brad, thanks. Everybody check him out. I know everybody knows Brad, so not much to say except he's a great guy and very generous. I'm so glad to get these. Thank you so much, Brad. Happy holidays to everybody on here, but Brad, to you and all your generosity, making everybody's holidays a little merrier and bright. Now, going over to our SGC return. These are actually for my friend Mike Ivy. Me and him always split the submission to Mike O. And I just wanted to show these because I had not much experience. These are 1922 exhibits, and they are just beautiful cards. He got these slabbed up, and they're beautiful. I wish they had done something like this when the years Hanks was playing, because these are just beautiful cards, and I just wanted to show them off for him. These are all Boston, I believe. Yeah, all Boston players. These old exhibit cards are just terrific. If you like the pre-war stuff, please get these into your collection. You will not be disappointed. It's gorgeous. And he got one of these diamond matchbook cards from 35-36 of a Bill McKechnie for Boston. He had this non-sport card. It's funny, they went to the trouble of identifying it, which I usually try to do that before I send them in for us. But I couldn't find this one except for some general terms. But they went 1885 to 95 Red Cross long cut circus scenes. And after they went to all that trouble, they wouldn't slab it. It does have some damage and such, but I don't know why they just couldn't put authentic on that. It would be cool all slabbed up. And you got a couple other things back. You got this Piedmont Stony McGlynn from Milwaukee. I know of T206, but I'm not a connoisseur, so I'm not for sure about any variations and stuff like that too much, except Barney. I know Barney pretty well. And he got this nice little mini. I mean, it's a tiny card. It's 1997 Pacific Crown Chipper Jones card Supials. Never seen anything like that before. So if you're into these little mini cards or micro cards, you might want to look into one of those. Nice Chipper Jones. You got an 8 on that. So I want to show off Mike's stuff. Beautiful. Check out those exhibits if you can. And I got a couple things back from him. I got a 1972 Johnny Bench in action, and this is one of the, back in the day, you see printing plates today. These were like proofs that they would print to check the colors. This is the cyan or blue. They're blank backed, but just another little piece for the collection, kind of give it a little more depth and such. This is an actual buyback from Topps 206. I think it was like 2010 or something like that. And this is actually a Barney Pelty buyback, framed Piedmont. And Piedmont's not in great shape, but it's kind of neat that they bought these back and actually distribute them in the Topps 206 set. So I thought that was a nice addition. And to my Longstreet collection of some Civil War stuff I've been putting on the side, Andrew sent me this because he knew I was looking for it. This is a James Longstreet from the 1888 Allen and Ginter Great General set. Very hard to find cards. The last Longstreet I needed for the set. I've got all his issued cards from the 1800s. It's got back damage, that's why I got a 1, which is typical. They usually come out of albums that they were taped or glued into. But I hadn't seen one of these in over a year since I started collecting some of Longstreet stuff. And he found it at a show and sent it to me as a gift. So Andrew, here's what it came out of, and it looks like this looks terrific. So thank you so much for that, and you'll be getting free drinks at the National when I see you next time, because that was very generous of you. Thank you so much. It looks fantastic. So I am going to pause, and then we will pick up from there. And see where we can get these others here. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm back again. Meant to pause so I could continue that. If I can figure out how to splice these together, I will. If not, this will be part 2. This is just some pickups I've had in the last month. It's been pretty quiet. I will show you what I have gotten, including my first Hank signed ball. This was I bought from these 2 items from Sean Tiford, as he's selling off his Greenberg collection. I don't think I've showed these before. This was a PSA certified cut of Hank with the Phil Hogsett, his teammates from the mid-30s. This autograph is probably circa 35, 36, somewhere in that region. It's a slab cut. I love the Plain Days Greenberg signed items just because his autograph varied so much over time. And they're pretty easy to date, at least up until he retired from baseball. And I also got this from him, this original photograph of Hank. I think it's even dated on the back. Yeah, it was dated May 11th, 1937. Very cool photos. So thank you, Sean, on the deal for those. I just got this from one at auction. This is an upgrade for my Pelty PC. This is a 19 '09 T206 horizontal in a 6, which is ridiculously hard to find. Centering's off a little, of course, from side to side there, but you just don't see corners that sharp on these cards. So I was very happy to win that at auction. And a couple more items. Sent this one on the left to go to SGC for to get it slabbed. It's a 1 of 1 from Historical Autographs. Actually, I'm sorry, it's the 1 to 25. And they don't do that set apparently. So I've got all the cards in that set, except for a few more 1 of 1s they made. I got the printing plate for one of them too. The yellow printing plates. So got those then. Allen and Ginter has Hank in it this year as far as a framed relic, and these are actually pretty pricey. They've been very popular since I've seen them on eBay this year. Finally got one at what I thought was a decent price. And I got another 1909 to 1912 Sweet Capital disc, domino disc. We got dominoes on the back. I've had the green one for some time. They make different colors. This is a red. I actually sold my I sold most of my Jewish collection, except for, of course, Hank and Barney. I cut back on it about a year or so ago, and I decided finally a couple guys that really are putting it together for all the players, for all their issues, and there's a nice guy on here, and I sold it to him, and part of the deal was getting this back. So thank you, Joshua, for that. Looks fantastic. Love these. I'm still looking for, I think, a blue one and maybe a brown. I can't remember offhand. And I got the first ball for my Hank collection. I don't buy a lot of baseballs. I've never been I mean, I like them, but they're usually very expensive and such. A lady listed this on eBay, and because it's non-authenticated and stuff, I don't think she got many. Yeah, she put it up for $100 and nobody bid on it, which is crazy. And then she listed it for $20. Buy it now. So I bought it for $20, but then I emailed her and said, look, you should be able to get a lot more than that. Here's what it's, you know, you need to get it authenticated, and here's what I would ask for, blah, blah, blah. And she was very nice, and she said, well, you know, if you know, I appreciate you telling me all that, but I'm not going to get it authenticated or not. So we worked out about what I thought was a much fairer price for her, and went ahead and took the ball. It's based on the other signatures. There's another Hall of Famer on here, Hal Newhouser. And there's a guy named Bob Swift on one side. And he played with the Tigers in 1944 through in later years. You can see it's a old Tigers ball. But so this ball would be from when he came back from the Army in 1944 or 45. So it was probably signed in 45 or so 46 before he went to Pittsburgh. But my first Hank Auto ball. And I'll probably get that authenticated when I go to the National. And I'm going to end it on this cool little article here. This is out of a clean sweep auction. That's just a mimeographed picture from the article. It is signed by Hank. To Henry with all good wishes, Hank Greenberg, February 19th, 1981. And I'm going to read just a bit of it to you because it's such a great article. It's from February 3rd, 1981. And the title is, Who is this guy with 183 RBIs? And he's actually, it says, as Shakespeare so aptly put it, how rapidly doth fame fleeth. Hank Greenberg, the home run king of the Tigers in the period before World War II and after, was seated next to George Brett. George Brett now, of course, hitting phenom of the Kansas City Royals at the New York Baseball Writers Annual Bash Sunday night. What did the two stars of different eras talk about? Frankly, said Greenberg, I don't think he knew who I was. So it's torn off here, so I'm not sure what all it says, but so the conversation followed a rather impersonal line for most of the evening. What a nice dinner it is. Good to see so many people here type stuff. Greenberg, who is in the Hall of Fame, dropped by for a few amenities. Ralph Kiner was speaking to George Brett, and Ralph turned to George, Greenberg related, and said, hey, you better look up to this guy. He once drove in 183 runs. That was the first time Brett showed any interest. He perked up and said, did you really have 183 RBIs? Who did you have batting in front of you? I didn't tell him they were guys like Mickey Cochran and Charlie Gehringer. He might not have known them either. Brett then asked me my lifetime average. When I told him it was 313, I could see some respect coming into his eyes. He said, gee, I hit 390 last season and only knocked in 118 runs. Greenberg neglected to remind him his neighbor that he hit a total of 331 home runs and 58 in one season in 1938. But I wasn't unsettling at all, Greenberg said later, and certainly I mean as no reflection on Brett. I found him a very warm and personable guy. It's just baseball's new breed. Now, being my age, to hear someone call George Brett new breed is kind of strange, but this is 1980s, so it's just baseball's new breed. Few of them grew up in the baseball tradition. There are so many things to occupy their minds. Now they are so rich and so busy with commercials and other commitments that they don't look too much into the past. And you're talking about how rich they were in the 70s. I remember, getting $1 million contract was earth-shattering back then. And now you have $70 million contract. But he said, Greenberg said, when I was a kid growing up in New York, I remember the Giants had a catcher named Hugh McMullen. He wasn't that good a catcher, lasted only a couple years or so, but we kids found out that he was visiting a lady friend in our neighborhood. We would wait around just so we could look at him. We were so awed by anybody in the major leagues. So the article goes on, but I think it's a good reflection of this is 45 years ago, and this is when the old players were thinking that the new players were kind of out of touch with the history of the game. And I'm just sitting here thinking, now that it's 2024, how much more so do the players today know who even George Brett is at this point? So I thought it was a funny article. I love the idea that, Greenberg was nobody. And this is 1981, so this is 35 years after Greenberg had retired, give or take. So, but it's nice to see things don't really change as far as today. We think the kids don't know anything about the history of the game either. But just a nice little article. I thought it was funny and it's cheap, and gave me a laugh. So anyway, this is my pickups. Oh, I did get a couple things from my. As I showed you the Longstreet, I found another Longstreet booklet. These are really nice. They're from 1888 Duke cigarettes. It's a whole booklet, like 20 pages long. It's got the history of his life in it. And then we got, this is really cool. This is I hope PSA will slab these. I don't know if they will. This is a CDV of Robert E. Lee from the famous Brady photographs taken a week after he surrendered his army at Appomattox when he went back home to Virginia. And there's a few famous photos taken by Brady outside his house. And this one's actually and some of them you can find are actually from the photographic negative of Brady's National Portrait Gallery. So this was taken right off the negative, the actual negative, when he took the photo at his house. and then they made it into a carte de visite, and I think it's really cool. This was taken right about the same time Lincoln was assassinated. I believe that was in April of 1865 also. So just collecting some of these. Longstreet was his subordinate under Robert E. Lee in the Army of Northern Virginia. He was the second in command, essentially. I've been doing a lot of studying about the Civil War. I've always studied the Revolutionary War, but I love the idea that we can, in the Civil War, you can actually find pictures that were actually taken of the soldiers at the time. So, very cool. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope everybody's doing well. Happy holidays. Whatever you're celebrating, I hope everybody's having a good time with friends and family. And hope everybody's doing well. And thank you, and take care.